good. But you are so fantastic in this film, my friend. And I have to tell you, I've been interviewing you for years. I remember you coming to Toronto for, a couple of movies when you were like, yay high.
Yeah.
And look at you now. You were helming this film. I have to ask you, were you a little bit nervous about this?
Definitely nervous. I mean, in terms of the script and the context and just how much this lead would be emotionally leading the film, and so much dialogue. There was a lot of dialogue, and not only that, but it was very technical sci-fi dialogue. So talking about compressors and reactors and whatnot. I don't know what I was talking about, but I think I pulled it off. I took on the challenge for exactly that, and obviously I agree with a lot of the kind of cautionary messages that the film itself holds. But yeah, I saw it as a challenge, and I was very happy with how I got through it.
Yeah, I wanted to know what your initial reaction was to the script, and just, not so much what you just told me in terms of what you had to take on as the lead in this film, but just the topic, and it really makes you think about climate change, about where we're going. What was your initial gut punch to this?
Not to get too into the nitty-gritty, because the world these days can become very opposing and touchy and whatnot, but in the essence of what the film is expressing, and I think very humbly, is just the fact that we need to turn attention to the world. And ironically, I mean, this film was made long before COVID was ever a thing that we worried about, and now you have us walking around in mandatory masks with curfews and whatnot. It feels like we are in the beginning tales of moving slowly towards George Orwell's 1984 or even 2067. So I think it speaks for itself in terms of that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, we just need to hurry up and become aware of whatever it is. If it's first yourself, if that's what you need to take care of first, you need to become a facility in which you can influence the world or do better for the world. But I think it starts with you. Like I'm saying, this is a good time for us now in lockdown to kind of jump on all the things that we procrastinate with. Usually when we have our job and it's so demanding from us, we use that as an example to not as an excuse rather to not commit to the things that we know we need to be doing for ourselves in the world. So
absolutely.
It's a great time now to kind of switch that all around. And if it starts with your routine, if it starts with your health, if it starts with whatever, psychology, whatever it is, just start somewhere, and ultimately that will grow, and you will affect change in the world. So yeah, but I think the message in the film speaks for itself. And like I said, I don't want to.
No, it's okay for sure. We could be talking for 3 hours here if we really wanted to.
I trust me, I could.
Yeah, and I could too, for sure. But I think it's a good jumping point for people, like when they walk out. Well, hopefully, if they ever get to see it in the theater, but even when watching it at home, it'll spark some discussion, no question about it. And it's interesting because your character Ethan is just put through the ringer from the minute we meet him. We can see the angst that he's been through a lot. I don't want to give away anything, but how do you prepare mentally for somebody who has PTSD, for somebody who has somebody who has so much pressure put on them and all that kind of stuff? Because you really did convey it very well.
I just pulled back from the PTSD sessions with my life coach, maybe. No, I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, growing up as a child actor, or just anyone within an industry as intense as this from so young, you go through a lot of hardships that not necessarily someone at 8 years old onward goes through. And most of it, majority of it is fantastic. Most of it is beautiful. I've got to experience a lot of amazing things with my family that's so unique, and we've created such a bond that not a lot of people get to experience. But when finances and producers and all of this stuff come into it, managers, agents, lawyers, and you're that young, I mean, it's a lot of weight on the shoulders. And,
absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, in a way, I'd never like to pull too much from my true self when depicting a character on stage or on screen, because it will you then bring that energy home with you, and you're actually subliminally thinking about yourself all day. But there is something to say, and what I've experienced, and how I can kind of project that through my character. So, and not just for me in the industry, but, you know, speaking to a life coach or anything like that, like it's so appealable these days, thank God, that I've realized that you don't have to be in industry to experience trauma or PTSD or anything like that. Most of us go through something traumatic in our life that makes us who we are, for better or worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that the story expresses that, because that's not something that will just be select to happening in a post-apocalyptic future. That's something that we can all relate to today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's special that to express that, but also to show that there's a way that he can take all of that trauma and suppress rage that he's gone through, and the frustration and confusion for the world and something in his family, and transmute it to something that he can have faith in. Like, still when he's making the decision to, you know, go into the time machine or whatever, he has people telling him this stuff, that he isn't told that he's going to get a reward back, but it's just the fact that he can build up enough faith to do something good for himself.
It felt very claustrophobic. I can't even imagine what it was like to wear that, the ventilator, the mask, the whole thing. Oh my gosh.
It was, and because I personally love this stuff. Like it was guerrilla style, because you know, we had like a helmet that was like from Russia. It was like an old school war helmet.
Crazy.
And yeah, the suit had to be like fitted to me kind of last second and stuff. So the funny thing was, it was actually airtight. We didn't mean to do that, but it was fogging up on the inside and it was hard to breathe. It was nuts, but we pulled it
felt it for you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I have to wrap in a minute, but I have to ask you about working with Ryan Kwanten. I've interviewed him so many times as well. What a good guy. You guys must have had a good bond.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, again, in like the essence of the film and what it asks for these characters to have in them, I think, again, we like both had a very similar perspective on the film and on the way that we perceive life and, you know, certain beliefs and things like that. So, yeah, we were really brought together for a reason there, both on screen and off screen. He's a really special person, and he stayed close to me afterwards, and he really influences me in the best way.
That's amazing. Okay, next up, we are going to see you in a film directed by one of my faves, Jane Campion. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I am so sorry. I'm getting everything wrong. I cannot wait for this. The Power of the Dog. Can you tell me quickly a little bit about that?
Yes, I won't get into the story because, as you know, it's so layered and it's so theatrical that I'd be here all day because I want to explain it correctly. But I have so much passion for this film. Obviously, mostly because of the people that I worked with, Jane especially. She pushed my boundaries in terms of me being kind of selfish with my approach, because I have done it since so young, and it has been successful, that I kind of try to stick to that, and I have cognitive dissonance otherwise.
Yeah.
But she's brought me to a place where I kind of put those boundaries down, and I saw other, you know, actors that are well accomplished beyond my years doing the same. So that helped me, and I'm very grateful because now I feel like it's going to change the way that I approach every character in film in the future.
Wow.
And I feel like I've never played a character like that, and I've never been a part of an ensemble like that. So it's going to be very special for her and everyone involved. And
Kirsten Dunst and Jesse Plemons. Oh my gosh, what a cast. But can't wait to see you in that. But sorry that we have to wrap up, but it's always such a pleasure to talk to you, Kodi. You are just so good in this film, honestly. And I can't wait until we can all get on planes again. We can get you back here to Toronto and we can talk in person again.
I love Canada. I can't wait to see you again. Hopefully it's for Jane's work there.
That's what I'm hoping. TIFF next year or hopefully before that.
That'll be amazing. Bless you. Have a lovely time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for your time.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye. You too.